I'm sorry ahead of time. But this is going to trigger some people. But you need it. Stop going back to that toxic relationship. Stop. At what point are you going to realize nothing is going to change? You see, what the problem with it is, you don't believe that you're worthy. You don't believe you're deserving. As a matter of fact, the reason why you keep going through toxic relationship after relationship after relationship stems back from childhood. It stems back from childhood. Your abandonment issues, whether your dad left, your mom left, in the times where you needed it the most, that's abandonment issues. Attachment traumas. It caused you to attach and cling to anything. Because how could the people who were supposed to be here to love you and protect you leave you or not be there when traumatic things happen to you growing up? I don't know if you know this or not, but life on earth is all about teaching you lessons, right? The same lesson will continue to come up again, until you learn it. Until you realize that it's your subconscious that's responsible for what you're going through now. Take a look at it. Let's look at whatever bad relationship you're in, or bad marriage, or anything. Actually, look at your partner. I guarantee they have a lot of similarities to somebody from your childhood that hurt you. Yeah. A lot of similarities. And the reason it keeps playing out is because you think if you could change them, then subconsciously you're deserving of the love that you keep giving out. But that's not how it works. Sorry. You are worthy and you are deserving. But the thing is, you're worthy and deserving of love from somebody who reciprocates it, not just takes it. Because you know what happens then? You become codependent. And codependency is also a toxic trait. Codependency is when you allow these fucking, sorry for cursing, these narcissists, these sociopaths, these psychopaths, these womanizers, these serial cheaters to keep coming back and forth to you again and again. And you keep taking them. That's codependency. Codependency is when you can't live your life, your whole existence, and your feeling of purpose is in the hands of somebody else. That's codependency. Sorry. I didn't know if you knew that. So if it takes somebody else loving you or giving you that attention for you to feel good about yourself, then you have work to do. You have work to do, because none of these motherfuckers mean anything You are worth everything. Everything. I wish. Stop it. Stop. You are the prize. You are the prize. Don't you get that? That's why you attract so much dark shit. Because you're light. You're light. You're the life force. But you keep attracting all these emotional vampires. And guess what? They're going to come. You're giving them free juice. They're going to come. Until you realize that you are. That's the sentence. You are. Until you realize that what happened in your childhood doesn't define you today. Until you realize you need nobody to love you in order for you to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, what are you giving everybody else? If you keep going back to that man who's beating your ass, if you keep going back to that woman who's for the streets and keep fucking everybody, what example are you really setting for your kids? Because most of you had kids that witnessed that. These are a part of generational curses. And I promise you, if it's the last thing I do, we're going to break some generational curses. And I ain't sitting here just talking to you just to be talking. No, I had to go through it. Many times. And guess what? That path to healing, it doesn't happen overnight. So I'm sorry if that's what you thought as well. It's a forever journey. To discover yourself. To discover your worth. But you can do it. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you, when you start putting yourself first, not no man, woman, not even your kids, not your parents. When you start putting yourself first, I guarantee your life is going to change. I guarantee you, all of that you wanted is going to be attracted to you then. Because the reason these low vibrational energies were attracted to you is because you yourself was low vibration. You yourself was broken. That's why. But once you start to fix you, guess what? These little low, dark, toxic, they're not going to be able to even be in the same energy space as you. You will start developing boundaries. You know? And it'll work. It'll work. Start on yourself. When you get a chance, I want you to start looking up inner child work. Let's start figuring out what it was in childhood first that keeps manifesting in adulthood. So inner child work. Let's start on that. And you know, a lot of people, especially in the Black community, for some reason, we don't think that, you know, we need therapy or, you know, anything is wrong with us. It is. It is. Because you don't even have to go through just what you went through in childhood. No. You also have to bear the curses from generations before you. Let that sink in. So at what point are you going to say, enough is enough? I'm done with this toxic shit. I deserve better. When is enough enough? after they kill you? What's your breaking point? Do you notice that every time you go back into the same toxic relationship or the next toxic relationship, that it always gets worse and worse and worse? Matter of fact, for those who don't know about narcissists, because they're the worst and most prevalent, especially in our communities, and people don't know that, they go through a cycle. They all read from the same book. It's no soul in them. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's not. It's no saving them. You can save yourself, though. So check these off your list. Put a finger down. Let's play some TikTok. Put a finger down. If the man or woman you're with was overly affectionate with you when y'all first got together, told you all the stuff you wanted to hear, all of that, taking you on picnics and everything that you asked for in a mate, they gave you that. Put a finger down if they were the first ones to tell you they loved you. How did that make you feel? Put a finger down if they were the ones who wanted to tie you down first, whether that was engagement, marriage, having a baby, moving in together, any of those type things, something to make you connected, kind of hard to pull away. We still there? Okay. Well, put a finger down if all of a sudden, and I'm not going to say all of a sudden, but they started changing as time went on. All of that love bombing they were doing in the beginning, it's dwindling down. That little honeymoon phase, which everybody does, healthy or not, the honeymoon phase, it start fizzling out. Put a finger down if before you knew it, you started questioning yourself. And you start saying, wow, well, he's not as affectionate as he was at first. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I need to clean up some more around the house, or cook some more, or buy him some gifts or something, because I need him to be, or her to be, like they were in the beginning. Did it work? Put a finger down if you ended up finding out some devastating news about them. That they were messing around, or they were caught flirting, or something crazy like that, and it destroyed you, and you say, you know what, I ain't gotta put up with this shit, get out. And they left. They discarded you. Let me know if when that happened, you started feeling bad, like you was the one who was in the wrong. Matter of fact, I guarantee that you actually felt like, oh, they left and they're doing better than they were with me, and it made your self-esteem go down. No? Talk to the air. Okay, cool. How about they start back contacting you, and you get that feeling in your chest to go, oh, whew, I thought she was going to leave me for real this time. Like, oh, okay. They're contacting me. Okay, cool. And they come back, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. And they become that same person you fell in love with. Right? And things are all good. You're like, oh, okay. All right, we got it. We're good. Until the phases start all over again. The phases, by the way, if you can't tell, is love bombing, devaluing, discarding, repeat. So now that he's came back, or she has came back, they're love bombing you again, helping you release all those endorphins to make you feel good. It's like a high. It's the exact type feeling that drug addicts get. Woo, love. You got your high back. But then the months go by, and it starts happening again. Like, damn. They're not as affectionate anymore. Everything you do kind of annoys them. Here's the kicker. You feel like you're walking on eggshells around them. Because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to trigger them. Because I don't want them to leave. And like, so let me... And even though you do that, guess what? It don't mean nothing to them. Until eventually, it's time for the discarding part again. And what you found out last time either happens again, but something worse is going to be on it. Because it's going to be a little bit worse. And you're going to say, nah, I'm not going through this shit again. Fuck it. Bye ya. Get out my life. I'm worth so much more than this. And they leave. Again. Could that be some of your abandonment and attachment issues that get triggered when he does that? And when he leaves, or when she leaves and she's out there in the streets, they live in their best life. They'll be posting at the club, and you're at home like, what the hell? Maybe it is me. Like, I want them to hurt like I hurt. Tip: narcissists can't feel that. But yeah, I want them to hurt just like I'm hurting. But they don't. And then when they feel like they tortured you enough, they come back around. Like, damn, I did this and they took me back. Then I did this. Let me see if they're going to take me back again. And then come back around. And the cycle starts again. And they love bomb you. And you get your high. You get your love high again. And the cycle continues. And every time it's time to devalue and then discard you, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But do you know why? Because you didn't fix that broken child inside of you. Look up inner child work. Look up codependency and how not to be codependent anymore. This is your life. You have to know that you want to change. You have to be like, I don't want to keep going through this for real. It ain't up to nobody else. I've been through it. I ain't just sitting here talking to be talking. I went through it. My ex-husband put me through there. Until it came to me. I never even knew what I didn't even know what a narcissist or a type A personality, type B personality. I didn't even know what none of that shit was, but it came to me when it needed to come to me. And you know what I discovered? My ex-husband and my father are one and the same. So all that trauma and attachment, abandonment, abuse, all of that happened in my childhood, it came back. And I kept taking it because, my little child inside needed to feel valued. I needed somebody to love me like I wanted my dad to love me when I was little. And until I made that correlation and started working on myself and healing, nothing changed. But once I got on that journey, out. And I mean out. And when my ex left, it was it. It was it. And my glow came back. All of these doors that was closed were opening. The sun came out. Yeah. And it can happen for you too. And it's a continuous journey. I started loving on myself. And a lot of people didn't like that. Family, all of that. Just because they're your family, that doesn't mean they're not toxic as well. Matter of fact, that whole codependency and narcissist and stuff, a lot of them are in your family as well. So, yeah. But once I started healing, you know what happened? Low vibration energies, they couldn't stand to be around me. They couldn't do it. I was called everything from, why you acting like that? You're over emotional. You're blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that. It's just that my boundaries have changed. And if you can't respect it, you can exit stage left. Because I'm not going to change nothing about myself. And I want that for you. And I was refusing. I refuse to let my kids see the bad side of relationships so that they can continue that curse. No. Once I started loving me first, you know what happened? Yeah. The real man that I manifested and wanted found me. That's how it worked. The real friends, the real family who are there for me. The positivity, they were attracted to me then. Because I was fixing the broken inside of me. And you can do it too. I ain't no therapist. I ain't none of that. Just when spirit tells me to tell you, what I'm doing, I gotta tell you. So that's for somebody. And honestly, if you feel that little, this damn girl, Red, is reading my whole life right now. That's what I wanted. What is it gonna take? You wanted your sign? Here it is. Leave.